On Omar coming out with what might be her most far-left idea yet. Omar tweets out, quote, "The cruelty of our immigration system becomes clearer every day. We must stop detaining immigrants and start giving them pathways to citizenship," end quote. So in Omar's world, not only should we roll out the red carpet for anyone who comes here the wrong way, we also need to reward illegality, allowing them to jump the queue ahead of millions of immigrants who've been trying to become citizens the legal way. But the left even finds fault with President Trump when he scores clear immigration victories. His Remain in Mexico program makes migrants wait out their court dates across the border, and it's pushed our asylum acceptance rates below single digits. So migrants are camping out in Mexico. Not in the U.S., but the Congressional Hispanic Caucus is now blaming these, quote, tent cities on President Trump himself, and the tents aren't even in America. More proof that Trump policies are working? Well, he told Mexico, step up or there will be consequences. And here's Mexico this weekend, shutting off the latest Central American caravan, closing its border with Guatemala. All this amid new reports the president's next immigration battle is birth tourism. Tens of thousands of children born here to traveling non-American parents getting automatic citizenship every year. President Trump now says, not on my watch. Joining me now is Texas Republican and Border Security Caucus co-chair, Congressman Brian Babin. Good to see you, Congressman. You know, I'm reminded of George Orwell's 1984. I don't know if the folks out there read it, but he envisions a society, a totalitarian society in which words are mixed up. Peace becomes war, freedom becomes slavery, etc. Success becomes failure. I mean, you look at the successes of the president on immigration, like the Mexicans holding immigrants waiting for their asylum down in Mexico instead of here where they could disappear, and they're calling that a failure.
It's unbelievable. And you know, the word Orwellian came from exactly what you just stated. I couldn't agree more, David. Great to be with you.
Thank you.
It's crazy. You have Ms. Omar, who's a guest of America, and obviously she's got a problem and as anti-American as I've seen anyone ever serve in Congress, and saying that her solution to the problem is to grant amnesty to millions of people who are coming in here illegally, when what we have to do is exactly what President Trump is doing. I'm so happy that he's doing it. We have a president that actually stands up for America and stop them. Work a deal with Mexico. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of Mexico for going down and trying to secure their own southern border, keeping them from coming in to begin with. But I would say to these Democrats who went down there on a congressional delegation to see these outside our borders, to see these so-called tent cities, to remain inside the borders. Go see the tent cities and our homeless, in our big cities like San Francisco, Houston, Austin, Los Angeles County, New York. Go see there. This is what we need to be remedying inside of our own country, and these are due to sanctuary city policies of Democrats, and blaming a tent city and a Remain in Mexico policy and the squalid conditions on President Trump. Yeah. Those conditions are like that because the Democrats refuse to cooperate with us in the House of Representatives and in Congress can't do their job to protect the American citizens and secure our borders. So they need to go look at their own problems.
I believe in free markets, and I believe that incentives matter, and you provide enough incentives for people to come here by hook or by crook, and they'll come here. That's what was happening. The Democrats, through sanctuary cities, through providing all kinds of welfare, whether you're legal or illegal, it's those incentives, those lures that brought tens, hundreds of thousands of people here, and most of them now have just disappeared inside the United States, and somewhere they're going to be a problem that we're going to have to deal with.
They're already a problem. They're already a big problem, David. They're taking public assistance. We have to educate them. We're medicating them. We have to incarcerate them on numerous occasions. And it's not just hundreds of thousands. We're talking millions of people that have come in illegally through our porous border. And I am so happy that the president has stood up and pushing back and implementing policies like the Remain in Mexico policy, that we can start protecting our borders, protecting our pocketbooks, the solvency and the security of our nation. And you know what? We want to help people who are downtrodden, but we can't open the borders and go bankrupt, allowing every single country around the world to come in.
Yeah, Congressman, I mentioned we don't have much time, but just one other thing is that the president wants to change our immigration system fundamentally to one that is a merit-based system where we would identify people that have certain skill sets that we happen to need. We should have the right and the authority to choose those people who come here. If we had a merit-based system instead of this crazy lottery system that we've been using for decades, we might get somewhere in getting the right kind of people in this country.
A good example is President Trump trying to fix this broken birthright citizenship problem we have, this misinterpretation of the 14th Amendment. He is doing his best, and I'm so happy to see that. We've got to start having interior enforcement. We've got to turn off the green light, disincentivize these people from coming in here, and try to help them inside of their own nations. We cannot open the floodgates and ruin America, change our entire way of life, and go bankrupt and start a crime wave like we've never seen. And that's what's going to happen if we continue these type of policies.
Luckily, let's leave on a positive note, which is that the president has made significant progress, not only here in this country with regard to asylum laws and everything, but in other countries that are now assisting us. I never thought it would happen. Congressman Babin, great to see you, sir.